Hey guys, it's me again. So today I kind of wanted to give you guys a story that I can go back on because it just recently happened to me, and I'm telling this to you guys because I'm a happy-go-lucky person, and I went through things in the past. I went through things before that were really, really bad, and I didn't think I can overcome it, and I did. And here I am going through another situation that I'm currently overcoming. So I can say this started when I worked for this company back in Southern Cali, where I came from. They started a new facility out in Portland, Oregon, and they picked a couple people. They picked some of us to come out, you know, start the company, but some of us had to, you know, put in a resume, write a letter and stuff like that. So they picked us out to come out and start the facility and things like that. And I came out in September, and the day that I stopped working for them was April, end of April. Reason being is, I want to say maybe the second to the last week of April, I went to go visit some family, and mind you, I had got a phone call from my mom, and she was telling me, oh hey, your aunt, she has stage 3, and I don't know what kind of cancer it is. I just know that she has stage 3. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, like, when did this happen? Like, how did it happen? You know, because I lived with my aunt before I came out here, so I didn't see any signs. She wasn't sick to me, you know. It was just all weird. So, you know, I'm having all these things running through my mind, thinking, okay, how am I gonna leave? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna say it? Like, you know, so, you know, moving forward, I go to work and I have to talk to my supervisor. Now, the supervisor is the one that I currently have an issue with, that I've had an issue with, that he's just been a problem in my life. I don't know why, he's just been a problem in my life. And I don't know, guys, I just, you know, I had to find different ways around it. But moving forward, I had went to work and I had to talk to him, and I had went to him letting him know, hey, I have to go to Southern Cali, I have to go back home because my aunt, she's sick, she has stage 3, and, you know, I don't want something to happen to where I can't see my aunt, you know. Like I told you guys, that's who I lived with before I came out here. Mind you, I'm here by myself. Like, I don't have anyone, like, you know, like, granted, I do have close friends that I've made and things like that, but it's not the same, you know. So he's listening and stuff, and, you know, it looked like he understood and he knew, but in the back of his mind, it just kind of looked like, you know, whatever. So I just left it at that, gave him what I needed, because me being an employee and that being my supervisor, I had to let him know what I needed and where I was going and just everything in that nature. So it comes a time for me to leave, and I had asked him, can I extend, like, my stay, because, you know, I don't know what she's looking like. I don't know how things are. You know, I've even been down there, and I'm the type that doesn't really like to see how that person is. You know, I like to wait last minute, which is really, really bad, but I don't cope well with things like that because of something that happened to me. But that's, you know, later on. But, you know, he has this look like, okay, why? And I kept telling him, because my aunt, she's sick, whatever. So he lets me do it. I leave, I take my vacation, I do my thing. I was gone for like 4 days, maybe 5. So I drive, because I didn't have enough money to fly down and stuff like that, so I drove. Moving forward, I drive back, and I go back to the facility where I work at because there were some things to finish up, and I wanted to, you know, talk with them, you know, tell them about the trip and stuff like that. Mind you, I got back around 12 o'clock at night, and it was so weird because HR was still there, my old manager in California was still there, and my supervisor, the one that I'm having a problem with, okay? I'm looking lost, like, okay, why are they all here still? So I'm not even 2 seconds in the building, and I see one of my old manager. He's like, oh, hey Danielle, we need to speak with you in the office. And I'm like, Okay, so I used the restroom first because I just came back from a 14-hour drive. I don't think you understand. I just came back from a 14-hour drive. And you're really gonna sit here and come to me and say, oh, hey, we need to talk to you? Like, am I getting a raise or something? Like, you know, so I go use the restroom. I come out and they're all sitting in the room, right? So they sit me down and they're like, hey, Danielle, we just wanted to review these days with you, the days that you were late back to back. Mind you, I'm looking at the paper and I'm like, okay, I see the paper and it's 3 days that I told the supervisor that has a problem with me, that's in the room, that I was sick. You know, I'm throwing up. You know, I can't afford the copay if I go to the doctor and get seen. Like, is there anything that I can do? Can I talk to HR myself to see what I can do to save myself? Not getting a response, not saying like, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm texting him these things, you guys, like letting him know. Because like I said, me and being an employee, that being my supervisor, cool. So he's sitting in there like he doesn't know what's going on. He's just right there, like, you know, twiddling his hands, like he's about to win some money or something. Like, it was so crazy to me. So I'm looking at the paper and I tell them, I do remember these days, but what are these days about? They're like, oh, well, you were late back to back to back these days, so we have to give you a 3-day suspension. And in my head, I'm like, can I get a warning? Can I get, you know, hey, like, we're gonna give you a 1-day, or hey, like something. They didn't give me anything, but had the nerve to tell me I need to sign that. And I told them I'm not signing anything because I feel as if I didn't do anything wrong to get these days. Mind you, you would think they would be a little less, you know, aggressive with the situation with me coming back dealing with family issues. My aunt, she's sick with stage 3. That's like my life right there. That's my aunt. You get what I mean? Like, if it was the other way around, I'm pretty sure they understand, but it wasn't. So it's like, whatever, like they didn't care. So I didn't sign, and I did take the 3-day suspension. Now, after my 3-day suspension, I come back to work the very next day. Everything's fine. I get called in by the supervisor. I'm like, okay, cool. Supervisor's like, hey, I have this sheet here for you that HR in Cali wants me to give to you to sign. Mind you, there's an HR in Oregon that's in the room with us, and he's going over the paperwork with me and stuff. So I sign and date, the supervisor signs and dates. So I asked him, hey, can I get a copy? He says, yeah. Goes, gives me a copy without his signature on it. So I'm like, hey, if you don't mind, can I get a copy with your signature on it? He's like, oh, I forgot. Like, no, I need a copy with your signature on it. Please, you get what I mean? So we move on from that day. I have a good day at work, successful, full day, okay? The very next day, I come back, okay? I do my thing. Mind you, I'm there early, okay? I go and talk to HR and I'm telling them, hey, like, you know, I just want to talk with you about my trip, you know, talk about things I've been going through, because at that job, I'm a lead. And being a lead, you have to, you know, delegate, do your thing. And that's a big thing in that company because it's a lead, supervisor, manager, GM, all that. So I was working my way up to being a supervisor, you know, because I was a lead. And you know, I felt like I needed some new skin. Like I needed like a new layer on me because I felt like I was just going through a lot and I couldn't represent myself to my people like that, knowing that I feel a certain way. I feel a way, you know? So he's like, yeah, we can talk, whatever, when you get some time, cool. So I go back doing my thing. I get a call on the walkie and they're like, hey, Danielle, can you come to the office? And I said, okay, cool. So it's the supervisor. He's like, hey, we're gonna go talk to HR. And I'm looking lost, like, why are we gonna go talk to HR? You know, like, okay, cool. So, you know, we're walking through the HR door and HR's right there. He's like, oh, hey, Danielle, you said you wanted to talk. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, could we talk later? Like, you know, operations about to start. He's like, no, I got time now. So the supervisor that has a problem, he's right there. And I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, well, can we speak alone? And HR's like, looking around, and you know, the supervisor was like, no, there has to be an orange present. Orange meaning lead, supervisor, whoever, right? And I was like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, why should there have to be someone else present if I'm speaking to HR? Like, I was really about to tell him everything, and I wouldn't want somebody that's against me, doesn't like me, to be in a room to know everything. Mind you, he's a supervisor, so he can, but not you. You get what I mean? So I told HR, if you don't mind, is there anyone else that can be in here? The supervisor was like, oh, so I can't be in here? And I told him, if you don't mind, I would like either another supervisor or a GM to be in here. And mind you, I had asked him for paperwork leading up to my 3-day suspension because I wanted to know why I got suspended, because off of those 3 days, it just didn't stick to me. I wasn't fond of that, so I wanted paper trail of me getting a 3-day suspension. I need a write-up. I need something stating like, okay, we told her this many times and she still didn't, you know, but I didn't get any of that. So I asked for it, and before he exited the door, he told me, oh, and just so you know, HR in Cali said that you can't have any of the paperwork you're asking for. And I said, well, is there not any paperwork? He was like, huh, oh, there's paperwork, laughing, right? But you can't get any of the paperwork. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, okay, thank you. Like, cause I felt like he was looking for me to argue with him, and I'm not the type to argue with anybody. Like, I'm not gonna argue with you, okay? Like, go ahead, do your thing. So the GM comes in and I'm talking with the HR. Not even 15 minutes goes by, my GM at the time gets a phone call. So he's outside, he comes back in 5 minutes later, and he's like, Danielle, HR in Cali wants me to pull your badge. Pulling your badge meaning, oh, thank you, we don't need you no more. So I'm like, okay, sitting there like, why am I getting my badge pulled? Mind you guys, I'm just sitting in there talking about everything that I've been going through, dishing out my whole life to my HR and my GM at the time about everything. And then my old GM gets a call from HR in Cali to pull my badge, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not giving you my badge until you give me a reason why. Why am I getting my badge pulled? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm like, you don't know why I'm getting my badge pulled, but you're gonna pull my badge? I'm like, does this even sound right to you guys? Mind you, this is a HR and this is a GM. And they're like, well, there's nothing that we can do. I was just told to pull it. So I said, okay, you know what? Here, because I'm not that type. I will give you the badge, but guess what? You guys know that this isn't right, and you guys see what's going on. There I was trying to just tell you guys my side, let you guys know what's going on. And how did you get a phone call from HR all the way in Cali to pull my badge all the way in Oregon? And they didn't say anything. But if you guys think that supervisor got butthurt because he couldn't be in the room with us and listen to what was going on with Danielle, sorry, you get what I mean? So you want to call and do whatever you do or say whatever you say to get my badge pulled. You get what I mean? Mind you, bills still need to get paid. Now D is opt out of a job for right now. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what's coming next. So moving forward, he's telling me, oh, we'll have a good day, we'll keep in touch, I'll keep you posted. And I'm just walking like, no, nobody want to hear all that when you got all this on your mind. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me that. I'm gonna go in my car, do my thing, you know? So moving forward, I get a phone call, a week goes by. No. 4 to 5 days go by. I get a phone call from HR, not the HR that pulled my badge in Cali, but another HR in Cali, stating that, oh, is this Danielle? I'm like, yeah, hello, you know who it is. You know, he done left me a message already, but go ahead. He's like, oh, well, I just wanted to let you know that you're no longer with the company anymore because you don't have any confidence. And I was like, really? Like, it wasn't because of my attendance? He said, no, it's because of your confidence. You don't have enough confidence to be with the company. And I said, okay, thank you. And to top it off, he told me, oh, and you were supposed to be gone 4 days before this phone call. But in my mind, I'm like, why didn't I get a call 4 days ago then? You get what I mean? So they had me jumping around, doing all these things, going through all these obstacle courses, trying to figure out my life. You get what I mean? Mind you, I still got bills on my mind, you know? Like, I'm thinking about how I'm gonna pay everything. So at that point, I'm applying, I'm looking at jobs, I'm trying to do anything and everything because my apartments put a notice on my door saying that I had to pay by the 23rd. Mind you, my birthday was on the 26th, okay? So I'm like, all right, like, I need to do something. I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. I'm not gonna sit here and just let this person get the best of me. I'm not gonna let him put me down, because that's the kind of person he is. He wanted to see me down. He wanted to see me fail and fall. But he doesn't know me. I'm not that type to just sit there and let somebody do that. So I got all these jobs and stuff like that, and I had to make all these deadlines, and I made the deadlines, guys. And not only did I make the deadlines, but I got something really, really good coming up. And it's another job, and it's really, really, really good, you know? And I'm not gonna do this, but I had to really think to myself, like, I went through hell and back in the past and everything's okay. I'm going through hell and back now and I'm still coming my way up out of it. But I'm going through this because of a certain somebody that didn't want to see me win, you know? Somebody that may be unhappy with themselves. I don't know. I can't speak for that person. But for me to not have anyone, for me to have to find my way, and I ended up finding my way, I didn't know what to do or what to think. I thought I had all these people that moved out here with me and I didn't, you know? It was really hard to know that somebody I thought that was cool with me had all this against me, you know? You guys, I almost had nothing. I almost had nothing because of someone that was just upset. I don't know, you know? And I'm getting calls from Honda. I'm getting calls from all these different places that I have to owe money to without a job, trying to figure it out. And the crazy part is I had a 401k plan with them, and that's my last resort because I don't want to do unemployment. I don't want to do none of that, you know? I want to figure it out. So I had a 401k set up, whatever, and I was trying to get that money. Oh, calling every day of the week, oh, you're still active in the system, we can't give you that money. We're still active in the system, we can't give you that money. And I'm like, you guys, I have these deadlines that I need to hit. I have these deadlines that I need to make. Like, you know, this company is messing with me, you know? I'm on the verge of going back home because I don't have anything, you know? And here it is, Danielle coming out of this bunch that she was in. And I'm telling you guys this because this was something that almost made me just be over everything. I didn't want to do anything anymore. I didn't want to be a part of anything because of what I went through. It's really, really hard when you're alone, but when you have faith and when you have a lot of people on your side, you can do anything, you know? You can do it all. And I wanted to let you guys know that because, you know, it's a lot of people out there going through a lot and they don't have somebody to talk to, and I was one of those people. So I decided to dish it out, you know, because everybody goes through a lot and not everyone is perfect. Not everyone can live that perfect life. Everyone goes through something. So it's just up to you to get out of it and make do with what you got, because anybody can be in your way to knock you down how I had somebody to knock me down. So I mean, think about it, y'all. Let me know what you guys think, and give this video a thumbs up if you guys think I did a good job, you feel me? If you guys want to hear more about a story time and stuff like that, because I kind of like sitting down and talking about what I went through and how you can overcome situations. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.